Just walked in a little bit, and I noticed that I was curious with all that rain that we got, how much saturation was going to be here, and it's quite a bit. There's quite a bit of water. It's ankle deep, and then it's almost knee high. So that's good. That's good. Don't mind this hat. I'm trying to do preventative maintenance, take care of my body because I got my son. And anywho, the water is good. One, it's gonna, all the water holes are gonna be full, and the water that's in other areas is gonna keep deer close by. So remember that you got water, should be some deer nearby. The only flip side to that is two things. On the edges of where the water is, there are snakes. So areas that I usually walk fast, I'm walking slow, and it's gonna cover up a lot of the tracks. So in a case like this, I'm gonna be looking for trails, and a lot of the fresh deer sign that I will be seeing already, it comes from the previous season. That's how I get my jump start. That's the freshest. And if you're looking for fresh sign as far as scrapes and rubs, I usually see those like the second to third week in September in Central Florida. And that's pretty consistent, even down south. So just keep that in mind. And like I said, if I see something, I'll share it. I'm in these palmettos. See these? This is, I believe, like the inkberry. It gets these little berries on there. I'm not sure 100% if they eat that, but I know they browse on this stuff, okay? And it's got cover, okay? See that trail? That's a game trail. So don't pass these big palmetto flats up, because this is something that you can use. You can hang a camera to get a direction of these deer if you don't find rubs and scrapes. Now I'm in these palmettos, and you got a trail. It comes here. One goes that way. One over there. You got this one, and you got another intersection here. Okay, goes through the palmettos and those inkberry goldberry bush, and it comes back over here. So because there's a lot of water here, covers up the tracks. So what you can do, hang a camera near this and see what you get. You hear that? Okay, I just jumped a deer. He's inside the swamp. And I just came from that way, showing you that palmetto trail. And I was gonna originally hang a camera over there a month ago, but it had this tall grass in it, and I thought I was gonna get a bunch of false pictures. So that trail went right into that swamp. Well, I had this other camera set. There was a couple bucks on this camera. I had it in the swamp. I should have left it there. So I I moved it there to face the outside edge. But only had one buck. One buck came out. So this is the beginning of the swamp. Here, there was a trail in here. It's nice and cool, and the deer were coming through right here where I'm standing. And hey, it gets nasty in here, but okay, and you'll get eaten up by mosquitoes. But this trail right here, that's where they were at. And I'm gonna walk a little further in here. I didn't see that deer, but my guess is that deer was bedded down on a dry spot in the swamp, and it caught my wind because my wind was blowing in there. So that's also important. When you finally find these deer, you have to figure out a way in and a way out. I found the way in. Well, I found a way in, but I'm not sure if it's the best because that was the route that I was planning on taking. So the wind blows into the swamp, they'll bust you no matter what time you come in here. So I'm gonna reposition this camera in the swamp. So where that deer was blowing, I knew that they were using this swamp, inside the swamp. Now, I already repositioned that camera twice in there, and I saw bucks. The second reset, they were using a different trail. I just reset that camera, and a nice buck just came out on there. I just left. I'm gonna throw that picture up. I don't know how big he is, but he's definitely a shooter, legal buck. He walked in front of my camera as I walked out. So there's bucks there. Some of these areas where I have the cameras are pretty far walks. Now, I won't be able to hunt them all the time because I may not have enough time to, like, let's say for instance, like if I wanted to hunt in the morning, I'm not gonna have enough time to get to a spot. But what you can do is utilize the camera, see what time they're moving, and that might help you get to some of those further spots. So I was walking this edge. Now, something I noticed last year was I found a lot of beds, and I actually seen the deer bedding right on edges of swamps. They'll bed inside of a swamp too, but obviously deer don't lay down in water. They'll find a high spot. And that's why I was walking this edge, because I had my camera set on the edge, but I'm taking it. Like I said, all mine are like on pinch points and like multiple trails. So, but I have to go just a little bit further because there's just one better option. All the cameras had deer on them. It's just, it wasn't that consistent. But don't overthink it. Get out. Start looking around. And just move a little bit at a time because you're not that far off. So I'm going to go grab this camera and the rest of them and put them just a little bit closer to the trails and further in the swamps. I just spooked another deer. That deer was right there on the edge of that swamp, bedded down. And I was looking down for these, make sure there's no snakes. But there's snakes and gators up in there. And she was bedded 20 yards on the edge, and she got up. She scared the poop out of me. They're further in these swamps, so hopefully I don't see another water moccasin or a cottonmouth, because I do not do snakes. I don't know how y'all do it barefoot, some of y'all. Like that guy Blue Gabe? No siree, buddy. It's bad enough that I tiptoe through this stuff. always makes me nervous. And I know there's gators over there because I've seen them before. This is a spot where you could jump a buck or a deer, period. Oh, that's a nice deer track right there. That's a wrap. This location that I'm at, it's relatively open. Not a whole lot of cover. There are some things for these deer to browse on, but just trying a different technique. I'm trying to see if I can catch them on a way to a major feeding source. These deer will travel far. So if you put cameras out to try to catch them, you know, if you, like today, I didn't see a whole lot of fresh sign or even old sign. I didn't even see a whole lot of old buck rubs. Saw a couple small ones, but they were so old I didn't even record it. So we'll see what these cameras do. Archery season is getting ready to open. You know, just a little over a month and 6 days. So I hope y'all have a successful hunting season, and I appreciate you watching the Florida Outdoors channel. We'll see y'all in the next one.